Let's close as we always do here. Go quickly around the Inside Politics table. Ask our great reporters to give you a sneak peek into their notebooks. Dan Balls?
John, Glenn talked about this earlier. Donald Trump's been moving in a particular band in terms of the polling. So is Hillary Clinton. Her band is a little bit higher. As the news moves, those bands move. If it's a good week for Donald Trump, he goes up. If it's a bad week for Hillary Clinton, she goes down, and vice versa. People, particularly Democrats, are wondering whether this moment, this tape, will finally break that cycle, that she will be able to push beyond the margin that she's been able to top out at, which has generally been in the 4 to 5 point range, and go even higher. That's the thing that everybody's going to be looking at over the next couple of weeks.
We'll watch it. Tonight we'll shape those polls as well. We'll keep an eye on that, Glenn.
I am dying to see a post-Tapegate poll of Ohio. Ohio's been really kind of the bulwark of Trump's Midwestern strategy, where obviously we've seen some pretty significant defections on the part of women as a result of this tape. Hillary had surged ahead by 1 or 2 points in some recent polling. I would just love to see if her improvement in that state is accelerating, because if it is, it's lights out.
Ohio would be game over. Stay tuned. CNN's about to go to the field in Ohio. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you that or tell or tell anybody out there that, but I just did. Maeve?
Nevada. We saw a brief clip of this at the beginning of the show, but Dr. Joe Heck, who's in a very tight Senate race out there, went out on stage yesterday and denounced Donald Trump and got booed over and over again. Now, of all the people who came out against Trump after this tape, I think that for Heck, this was maybe one of the biggest gambles, because Nevada is a state that has been very kind to Donald Trump. It's very close there. It's very difficult to poll, and it'll be really fascinating to see, with Hillary Clinton headed out there this week, whether or not he can hang on in that close race.
Fascinating one. Could make the difference, too. That one could be the difference. A lot of people think as we move west through the up and down Senate races, Nevada could do it. Nia?
Two big progressive groups launching their biggest get out the vote efforts in their histories. Planned Parenthood, as well as the Human Rights Campaign, which is an LGBTQ group. The Planned Parenthood, a $30 million effort. This is all in swing states, particularly targeting millennial voters. And in terms of HRC, they are very much targeting swing states as well. North Carolina, they want to do 400,000 voter contacts in that state, which is going to be neck and neck, I think, down to the wire. And this goes to show of the organizational strength, I think, of the left compared to the right, which is very much kind of in shambles at this point in terms of figuring out how to support Donald Trump.
Final 30 days, the nuts and bolts matter most. I'll close with a little Pellis intrigue from my conversations yesterday. Donald Trump was quite emphatic. He will never quit. We expect to hear that tonight as well. But there are those close to him who see that statement as torn from the pages of Art of the Deal. Very different people. A Trump campaign aide who's known him only for the past year, and a friend who's known him for decades, sent me the same observation, that if tonight goes badly and the polls keep going Clinton's direction, that the never get out will become the starting point in a negotiation. Now, both noted Trump said long ago if the polls tanked, he'd consider quitting. But this close to Election Day, both agreed that's unlikely, but both also said they could see Trump negotiating his exit in exchange for a Republican Party payback of all the personal funds he's poured into his campaign. Now, again, they said they thought it was unlikely. I'm going to tell you I think it's unlikely, but it was fascinating to me that two people close to Trump in his camp would suggest such a thing.